Palo Alto Networks SecOps-Pro exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. Which pair of incident scoring attributes in Cortex XSIAM provides the strongest prioritization signal for detecting potential data exfiltration attempts? A. Outbound port number and time of day, offering basic context but insufficient correlation to exfiltration behavior. B. Threat intel match against known C2 infrastructure and the criticality of the impacted asset, combining high-fidelity indicators and business impact. C. User department and login frequency, which rarely represent indicators of exfiltration risk. D. Observed alert volume and network protocol, both of which can be misleading without deeper context. The answer is B. Data exfiltration incidents require both a strong technical signal, such as alignment with known command and control indicators, and contextual awareness of the asset involved. Matching an outbound IP or domain to threat intel sources significantly increases the confidence of a true compromise. When the system simultaneously flags that the asset belongs to a high-value business tier, the prioritization score should rise dramatically. This combination yields far greater reliability than context-only or volume-based signals. Other options lack the precision or impact assessment needed for high-severity exfiltration cases. A SOC wants Cortex XSIAM to dynamically classify an incident involving MITRE ATT in CK Technique T1021 remote services. Which automation logic best achieves severity escalation when a crown jewel system is involved? A static categorization script that sets a fixed severity regardless of asset attributes. B. A conditional routine that checks for both technique tag T1021 and critical asset status before upgrading severity to critical. C. A script that only renames the incident without severity logic. D. A routine that merely attaches tags without updating classification. The answer is B. Dynamic prioritization requires combining detected adversary behavior with asset context. A script that evaluates both the ATT and CK technique and the criticality label can adjust the severity level appropriately, enabling immediate escalation when the threat affects high-impact systems. This approach aligns with risk-driven operations and prevents under-prioritization of major threats. Other options either lack dynamic capability or fail to incorporate severity logic entirely. Consequently, option B provides the most operationally meaningful classification workflow. Following a ransomware incident, analysts find that several low-severity reconnaissance alerts were ignored, although together they formed an attack chain. What framework improvement would best prevent this oversight? A. Auto-escalating all low-severity alerts after 24 hours. B. Mandatory manual checks of informational alerts within 1 hour. C. Correlating sequential low-fidelity events targeting sensitive systems and raising severity automatically. D. Increasing the alert threshold so only high-severity alerts trigger notifications. The answer is C. Attackers increasingly rely on low and slow techniques, making chain detection essential for early discovery. Correlation logic within SIEM/SOAR systems can link reconnaissance, lateral movement, and credential access signals, even if individually low severity. This ensures severity rises based on aggregated behavior rather than per event classification. Manual review does not scale, and timing-based escalation risks noise. Automated correlation directly addresses the root cause by recognizing multi-event adversary patterns. How should a society integrate a threat intel report containing both IOCs and TTPs from a newly identified apt group? A. Block all IOCs on the firewall and place TTPs into a static classification chart. B. Use IOCs to build high-fidelity detection rules while using TTPs to enrich playbooks and analyst procedures for priority scoring. C. Distribute the report to IT staff and manually review alerts daily. D. Import only IOCs into watchlists and ignore TTPs. The answer is B. IOCs such as IPs, hashes, or domains deliver strong detection level indicators and should feed automated rules with elevated severity. TTPs reflect behavioral patterns that help broaden detection coverage to attacks not yet associated with specific IOCs. Incorporating both elements strengthens classification, ensures analysts recognize emerging behaviors, and improves incident response readiness. Ignoring TTPs or relying solely on manual steps reduces the effectiveness of threat intel integration. In cloud-native environments using Prisma Cloud, which attribute becomes significantly more influential in incident prioritization compared to on-premises systems? A. Physical server location. B. Department ownership of the asset. C. The specific cloud service and associated IAM permissions. D. Hardware vendor type. The answer is C. Cloud-native workloads rely heavily on service-level configurations and identity permissions, making IAM misconfigurations a major risk factor. A vulnerable or overprivileged cloud service can create rapid, large-scale blast radius expansion, unlike traditional static infrastructure. As a result, evaluating risk requires focusing on service type, privilege scope, and exposure paths. Other attributes either remain constant across environments or carry far less security significance in cloud platforms. A brute force incident, MITRE T1110, targets an internet-facing, PCI-regulated system. Which automation logic in Cortex XSIAM should classify the incident as critical? A. A script that checks for the technique tag in PCI, internet-facing labels before setting severity to critical. B. A script using less specific metadata and applying only high severity. C. A routine referencing a predefined list of critical systems and promoting severity when the technique matches. D. A script that sets low severity in generic categories. The answer is A. C. Both A and C incorporate risk-aligned logic by combining adversary behavior with regulatory-sensitive asset criteria. This ensures compliance-driven systems receive immediate escalation whenever suspicious brute force attempts occur. Option A uses explicit asset tags, while Option C uses an abstraction layer via curated asset lists, but both achieve proper classification. Options B and D fail to deliver accurate severity elevation demanded by PCI-regulated environments. A new zero-day vulnerability affects a critical web application. Which approach best supports dynamic prioritization beyond static CVSS ratings? A. Prioritizing based only on CVSS and number of vulnerable hosts. B. Correlating active exploitation intelligence, firewall traffic anomalies, and business criticality of the application. C. Treating every instance as top priority regardless of data sensitivity. D. Prioritizing by OS version alone. The answer is B. Zero-day prioritization must incorporate real-time threat intelligence confirming active exploitation, ensuring resources focus on high-risk vulnerabilities. Network telemetry such as abnormal HTTP requests provides an internal validation layer for potential exploitation attempts. Including business criticality prevents over-prioritization of low-impact systems and ensures meaningful triage. CVSS alone lacks environmental context, making option B the most complete risk-based approach. The CEO's laptop, TIER0 asset, triggers a grayware alert in Cortex XDR. Which mechanism ensures proper escalation despite the low malware verdict? A. A static workflow that sets severity solely based on verdict. B. A pre-processing rule that imports asset criticality and conditionally raises severity when both grayware and TIER0 attributes match. C. A script that only tags incidents without changing severity. D. A workflow that substitutes severity based on alert count alone. The answer is B. Asset importance should override weak technical indicators such as grayware, especially when involving executive devices. Automatically enriching incoming alerts with CMDB-derived criticality ensures XSOAR always evaluates severity with business context. Conditional escalation prevents misuse of high-severity classifications while ensuring vital assets receive proper attention. Alternatives ignore asset sensitivity or lack usable prioritization logic, leading to missed high-impact threats. When Cortex XDR detects a suspicious file hash during a potential ransomware event, which integrated action accelerates investigation and containment? A. Query autofocus for hash intelligence and trigger wildfire-based blocking. B. Use live terminal to delete the file immediately. C. Add an exclusion for the file hash. D. Start a war room discussion only. E. Wait for virus total results before responding. The answer is A. Autofocus delivers high-fidelity intelligence tied to campaigns, enabling quick determination of whether the hash belongs to a known threat. Wildfire integration allows rapid creation and deployment of prevention signatures, effectively halting execution across endpoints. This combination aligns both intelligence and prevention in a single workflow. Deleting files prematurely or excluding them risks expanding compromise, while discussion-only or slow external lookups fail to provide timely containment. An analyst finds an external IP associated with a persistent backdoor. What Cortex-enabled action provides the fastest and most comprehensive enrichment and enforcement? A. Manually block the IP and then check Threat Vault. B. Use XSOAR to query multiple Intel feeds and automatically deploy NGFW block rules if malicious. C. Block outbound traffic locally on endpoints only. D. Perform packet capture before taking action. E. Create a basic XDR alert rule for future attempts. The answer is B. XSOAR orchestrates multi-source intelligence aggregation, providing a reliable reputation evaluation for suspicious IPs within seconds. When confirmed malicious, automated deployment of NGFW block rules ensures organization-wide protection, something per-endpoint controls cannot match. Packet capture or manual steps introduce unnecessary delay during an active compromise. Proactive orchestration delivers both speed and scale, minimizing attacker dwell time and lateral movement risk.